Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how you doing? Right, it's Friday, which is request day, and it's a day I turn to my BonBon buddies over on Patreon and ask them to vote me in a map. And today's map is on the screen at the moment. But before we get to that, I want to go back to Monday. Monday was Albany by Q. It was episode 344 if you want to have a quick look yourselves. Really nice map, very close to getting a clean sweep of 5 stars in all of them. However, I decided that it wasn't quite worth the 5th star for aesthetics, based on one particular flyover intersection that I said was a little bit too high, and ooh, the remarks and the messages I got and the hate. Well, there wasn't many hate, but you know what I mean. I just wanted to show you what I mean by a little bit too high. So I'm going to run 2 cinematics from side by side. On the left, we've got the original intersection. Might be running a little fast, but I haven't got very much time to show you this. On the right, I've adjusted the heights of the intersections. You might want to run this back and have a look in slow-mo. It just makes a little bit of a difference, I think, just by dropping the road and dropping the height of the rail. That, for me, would have swung it to 5 stars. Anyway, enough of that. Take your time in that. Go and have a look at that, and also check out Monday's map. Right, today is Friday, and we have Paradise City by Cozy. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going cozy name. There's your start square with the highway just nudging into it. There is only one highway connection, and that is the one. Now, there's your resources there. You can tell in the top right hand corner we're using the vanilla rock theme, which is good to know. Especially good to know when you go over to the Steam Workshop and scroll down, and there are no requirements. It does say the map is 9 to 25 tiles ready, so bear that one in mind. Right, the fog is switched off today. We'll have a quick look at the edge of the map. This is the only incoming road and rail. We've got just the one highway connection, but 4 rail, which then taper into 1 almost immediately. Which might be a problem for some of you, and for others you might be okay with that. Having said that, 1 highway connection for a map that is 25 tiles ready. But as it's 25 and not 81 tile, all the dodgy road and rail right out in the clouds and the fog and the clouds. Oh dear, in the land clouds that we call the fog, I'm going to completely ignore. Now, about now is where we shall start taking consideration. We do have a bit of a dip down in the rail there, where it could have been elevated or bridged, one or the other. And then we've got a very nice bridge and rail combo here. I'm quite happy with all of that as well. And the map is a kind of a fantasy map, so I can allow for a little bit of hill climbing, but I'd rather not have the lumpy bumpy rail like we're seeing here on the left. By the way, we are doing road and rail simultaneously today, just because this is the only connection that we can see it all the way anyway. Head over here, a bit of a drop down to the land there. Not the worst drop actually, I've seen worse. I'm going to let that go. Okay. And then the rail comes to a dead end fairly soon on the left, while the road, there it is, there's the dead end. The road though goes into elevated just as it starts to climb a hill, which means it's bleeding steep. Don't know why it's gone elevated there. It would have been quite happy at ground level, but then when you look up from there into your build, look at that, that really invites you to build into it. I think that's the breathtaking moment of the entire map. Really like that. I like it quite a lot indeed. Anyway, off to Assetville for today's asset, and it's the Sky Tower Auckland AD update by my Hafiz. And if you're watching the chart show on Sunday, my new chart show, oh, have you not seen it? Have you not seen it? Oh, you've got to see the Steam chart show. Brilliant. Really enjoy doing it. Yeah, this was flying high, and I think it was the highest thing that I hadn't actually reviewed in terms of assets, so I figured let's have a look. Anyway, it's a glorious thing. Really tall, very nicely detailed, and if we can get right on top of it, you can see the spire and all the TV masts and all that, and the radio masts. Beautiful stuff. Very nicely worked. My half is I'm having very great difficulty getting the cinematic camera to hold steady on that one. Well, in the time that I have to do it, I have to rush it through. So anyway, there we go. Sky Tower Auckland AD update by My Hafiz. And that is today's asset of the day. Now, the theme and LUT review this week, it's a little bit dark, we can tell that. It's Viceland Dark Pavement by Gay Tortoise with a relight bleak LUT. And yes, there are missing buildings. I apologise for that. That's due to the DLC patch and many of my things being broken. But back to normal next week, maybe with some new buildings instead. Right, let's have a quick look. Flip through me book for looking for factoids. Okay, all household and electrical gadgets cause electrical and magnetic fields. Hairdryers have the greatest magnetic field, and electric blankets have the greatest electrical field. There you go. I bet you didn't know that, did you? You probably rewind that to hear that again. Greenwich Palace in London was the first to have glass in its windows. Ah, now that's a factoid to carry with you. It doesn't say it was the first palace or the first building, but yeah, Greenwich Palace was the first to have glass in its windows. There we are. And the previous scientific one, you'll have to rewind and listen to in full. Anyway, shipping routes, we've got this one, and it cuts across and splits and comes back together. Water flow, the rivers are strong in the flow. We've got that one goes down. That was well ahead left. It looks weaker down the left, but it's still flowing. If you come down, you can see the arrows that are still flowing. That's all good. Drops over the waterfall there and on the other side too, and that flows out to sea also. Out to sea, there are some little arrows, but it's not the strongest, but it's stronger than some maps we've seen of late. And down by the start square, which is just down here, yeah, we've got water flow there as well. So actually, very good for a start square location. Okay, now let's have a look at the map as a whole. The build planes are quite lovely. I'm going to give credit to the build planes. It's very buildable and quite looks like it could be quite a lot of fun. I'm not sold on the mountains. Okay, fantasy map, I get that. I've seen more attractive fantasy mountains than this, but I kind of get it. I kind of get it. But it's not for me the prettiest map I've ever seen by a long chalk. The waterfalls aren't too bad actually. I do like these like dragon tooth edges on this waterfall here. That's quite cool. And then on the other side we've got the ultimate in dragon tooth. There, that one. It's Goothy Dragon. Oh, lovely. Yes, so anyway, yeah, we've got the water source there, which is right on the edge, which is, I think that's pretty poor. Could have been hidden anywhere in that lake and it wouldn't have been noticed, but right on the edge there, it just looks a bit globby. Once again, it is outside of the 25 tiles though, so you're juggling a little bit there. Over this side's perfectly fine, but yeah, I think that could have easily been tucked away into the lake. We've got another waterfall over here, which is quite nice too. The sun in the wrong location to get a good view of that, but take my word, it looks very nice. It looks very, very nice indeed. Got a few drowned trees, but I'm sold on these. It looks like the river might have broke its banks fairly recently, and I can just about accept those trees there. Just about. See, I can be nice. A little bit of globby water there from the start of the map, but it's fine. That will have sorted itself out in about another couple of minutes. We won't go back and check though. We've got a little plateau on top of this mountain. If we can just about hold still for that. See if I can get my camera in the right position. Anyway, you saw it. And over here now, this is outside of the 25 tile build plane, but those of you that want the 81 tile, looks like a plane route there by the way, those of you with the 81 tiles, you might want to come over here. There's not much you can do though. Just thought I'd show you that if you do get over to this side, you're very limited in build plane, and there's no shipping route round here, so yeah, wouldn't be doing any docks over here. It's just I thought I'd point it out because of reasons. And unless we've got the fog switched off, you can have a look. Alright, the one thing we haven't had a look at is the island, which is over here. Now, the build plane is okay. It's a little bit uninspiring, if I'm honest with you. Look at that, and I don't really know that I want to build on it. It doesn't really drag me in. The mountains, you can get into them a little bit at the back, I guess. But yeah, I'm not really drawn to that. I'm more drawn towards the mainland over there for the actual city build. So there we are. Over the other side of the river, got some build there, and yeah, I think we've pretty much covered it now. I think so. Okay, let's call up that ratings box and see what we can give this. Aesthetically, I'm kind of split. I don't think it's unattractive. I'm not sold on the mountains, but they don't really turn me off. I think I can give this a middly 3, all told. Detailing. Now the detailing isn't too bad. It's a 3-ish, but vanilla rock theme. How many of those trees are vanilla? I don't really know, to be honest with you. So I'm not entirely confident in all the details being correct, so therefore it can only be 2 stars. For gameplay potential, I was erring between 3 and 4 stars, but with only 1 highway connection and a big build plane, that's going to kill things for me. I think I'm only going to give it 2, erring to a 3, but 2 stars for me. Paradise City by Cozy. I think it's a map that's just about erring on being quite okay. Just falling short of okay. So there we are anyway. Well, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me tomorrow for the final map of the week. Join me tonight for Friday Fever, because Transport Fever. Who doesn't like a little bit of Transport Fever? And then the weekend, the charts. Don't miss the chart show on Sunday. Don't miss it. Please don't miss it. Please don't miss it. I spent a lot of time on that.